Hello my lovely people, it's Queen Agnes. Welcome to QueeenTv, where I encourage everyone to be earnest, ambivalent, and overall empowered. So as you can tell by the title, honey, I'm finally answering the question that so many people have been asking me for some weeks now. Am I vegetarian? So before I even dive into answering the question, I want to read or let you guys know the definition of a vegetarian, just in case someone might not know what is a vegetarian. So I like reading the Google definition so it can be very accurate, and then because my definition is probably not as accurate, and I just like being very precise. So here we go. A vegetarian, a noun, is a person who does not eat meat and sometimes other animal. I do not know why it's just that word just looks. I haven't been in school so long. We need to go back to school already. Like, I'm literally forgetting how to read. But anyways, so, or other animal products, especially for moral, religious, or health reasons. So the reason that I personally, well, before I even get into it, so people become vegetarian for a number of reasons, just like Google said. Some can be a religious reason. Some can be like a health reasons. Some can be just their moral. So people become vegetarian for different reasons. And so today I'm here to explain to you guys why I myself, am I a vegetarian or am I not? Who knows? Do I look like a person who's vegetarian? Well, if you said yes, you were right. I am a vegetarian now. And just a little quick story. So in my religion, we are big on health, and we're really big on health, and so vegetarian is like one of the options that we choose. And so that's how I know about vegetarianism. I don't know if there's a name for it. That's how I know about being a vegetarian or a vegan, because just in my religion, that's one of the options that there is. But the reason why I became a vegetarian is not because of my religion. So don't mix it up. That's not the main, or it's not a reason. It's not because of my religion why I became a vegetarian. And so a little background story. When I was in I think it was 9th grade. When I started high school, I decided to become a vegetarian. And at that time, I just hung out with a lot of people who are vegetarian themselves. So I was like, why not? Why not become a vegetarian? You know, like, what's the harm? And so I became a vegetarian for 1 whole year. Yes, a whole year. And how I stopped becoming a vegetarian, so we went out to eat. I think it was Chick-fil-A. It was like some really good place that has good chicken. And sis, I could not resist. Like, I had been resisting for months, a whole year, and I couldn't do it anymore. Like, I just had to take a bite of that chicken. Like, it looks so good. And so, like, I just had to take a bite. Like, I remember that day. Like, I ate good. I ate really good, because I hadn't eaten chicken for a while. Like, even at school, like, I had to resist all the food there. Like, I couldn't eat like the potatoes and the salads and the healthy stuff without meat. But the reason back then why I became a vegetarian, it was a really pretty childish reason. Like, it was not a good reason at all. And so I feel like that's why I wasn't able to fully become a vegetarian, because it was just a silly, like, not competition, but like trying to be like everyone else kind of reason. And so, like, that if you want to become a vegetarian, don't ever become a vegetarian just because everyone else around you is doing it, or someone you're in love with, or like someone you spend a lot of time with is a vegetarian. That's not a really good reason for someone to become a vegetarian. If you want to become a vegetarian, have some personal reasons why you want to become a vegetarian, and not just because someone else is doing it. And so I'm gonna get to my reasons why I became a vegetarian this time and for good. So me as a person, how I am, I don't really like any meats, like red meats especially. Like I don't like goats, I don't like beef that much. I don't like I just don't like the other meats. And like in my religion, I'm not supposed to really eat a lot of unclean meats, and so like my options were already limited, and so like I was already blessed to not be eating the other meats. And then the meats that we are allowed to eat, they never really, like, every time I ate it, like it would just do something to my stomach and my body, and it just didn't feel right with me. So I wouldn't eat those red meats. And I'll eat beef here and there, but it had to be like it had to be cooked a certain way, and it had to be a certain kind of beef. And then chicken, I cannot eat the real chicken, but like chicken was just my favorite. It was my favorite food. And chicken was just life. Like I would always just have chicken. Like that's the reason why I couldn't become a vegetarian for so long, because chicken was just my addiction. Like chicken was so good. But in my house, we really don't eat meat like that. Like we don't eat meat like that. The only meat we would really have is like chicken patties, and then those chicken patties would, like, here and then we'll make some different kind of food, like chicken alfredo, hamburgers, just different things like that. But we're not really big meat eaters, like, at all. So speaking of meat eating, I wasn't really eating meat. And so I just sat back and thought, like, okay, girl, you're not really eating meat, so why not just become a full-time vegetarian? And then this question probably went on for 2-3 years. Like after I stopped being a vegetarian the first time, like that question was just always in my mind, like, why don't you just become a vegetarian? Like you really don't eat meat, like, and I really don't go out to eat as much. I like home cooked food, so like I really didn't eat meat like that. And so that would just always be a question in the back of my mind. I would always ask myself, like, why don't you just become fully vegetarian? Like you really don't eat meat at all, like pretty much. So what's holding you back? And my answer would be like, girl, chicken. Like chicken. Okay, anyways, so then I think it was last year or a year and a half ago, it was around December, my friend gave me some chickens, like live chickens, not food, live chickens. And so I was like raising some chickens. Oh no, okay, before my friend gave me the chickens, it was like about like some months or years, no, not some years, like a year or months before that, I was in 8th grade, and my favorite teacher gave me a chicken. And so like I just fell in love with the chicken. Like her name was Queen. She was so precious, and like she was like my first pet. And so I just cared for her, and it was just so cute. Like she lived in my backyard, because like she lived, when she was little, she would live inside the house, but then when she got older, she started living outside. And so at this time, we didn't really know how to take care of chickens like that. I just said yes because I love chickens. Like, so I was just like, why not have a pet? Like, that's a chicken, like, why not? And so she would live in our backyard, and our backyard is connected to like other backyards. Someday I went to school, and all our family went to school, and my parents went to work. And then we came back and she was gone, and like we literally cried. Like we just fell in love with her because like she was just fun to play with and just different things like that. And so after that point, I just kind of like, when I had Queen, I wouldn't really eat chicken because it didn't feel right. Like I just felt like I didn't feel right eating it. And so after that, it took me a few months and I still wasn't eating chicken. So at that time, I really wasn't eating meat for a couple of months. And then when my months later, when my friend gave me she gave me 2 chickens, and one was Chloe. No, it was not Chloe. What am I talking about? One was Lily, and then the other one was what was her name? Oh, Lucy. It was Lily and Lucy. Yes, Lily and Lucy. Okay, so we had those 2 chickens, and we literally got them when they were chicks. Like this is how small they were when we got them. Okay, and I'm gonna insert some pictures here. They're so cute. Like I'm gonna insert a video right here. They were so cute. One was brown and one was black. They were so cute, but we got them when they were little babies, and so we raised them for almost a whole year. And then in half of that year, like 6 months, 7 months, when we had them, we went to get a rooster. And so when we went to get a rooster, his name was Lucas. And so they all had like L names, and so like it was like our little, like, you know, little pets. And we went to this what was that store called? Like they sell like livestock stuff. Oh, it's like Traders something. So anyways, we went there, we got a membership, and we would get their food like in a big packet. Then my dad built them a little like a little fence thing, and that's only when we had Lily and Lucy. And then when we got the rooster, we decided to build them their little house, their little cage house. And so we built them the little house, and I'm just looking at it right now. It's still here, but we built them a little chicken house. And so when we built them a little chicken house, sorry, my brother made me lose train of thought when he came in, but yeah, so we had built them a chicken house and everything, and they just felt like part of our family. Like we all loved them, and at first like some of us were scared to hold them and different things like that, but we weren't scared of them anymore. And like they would always be in our backyards. Like they knew our house. Like okay, the other chicken, like I feel like she got lonely, but these 2 chickens we had, like they were together, so like they can accompany each other and stuff like that. And so even though sometimes we would let them out and stuff, and since our fence weren't too high, they'll go to like the neighbor's house, but they'll always come right back. Like they always came back. Like so they were like, girl, this was their house, this was their home, this was their family, you know. And so like they started producing eggs and everything, and I'm telling you now, they're hens. And I'm gonna post a picture. So you saw them when they were little, now you're gonna see them when they were big. Like that's how you know we raised them. Like I would hold them like my little babies and like pet them. They were so cute, and I was just like chasing them around. It was the cutest thing. And washing them, feeding them. Oh, anyways, so during that whole time that we had them, I wasn't really into eating chicken. Like it just didn't feel right, like I said. And I had really kind of just restrained from meat eating, and the only time I really ate meat was when I went out to eat with my friends, or like anybody who took me out to eat, because I felt like I'm not about to eat a salad. Like what? At that time I did not like salads or like anything healthy like that. So yeah, but then they died. So then after they died, I was pretty devastated, because which one died first? So we don't know what really happened. We don't know what happened to the chicken, like how they died. Okay, so the rooster, and Lucy, the black one, we just found them. We were all inside painting and stuff, and we found them dead inside the chicken house. And we weren't hearing the rooster, because usually it would roost. It would roost in the morning, like cockadoo, like, you know, it would roost. And so we didn't hear that, and we went to check, and they were just dead. Like, both of them, they were laid dead in there, and like we were so surprised and stuff like that, and we're just really, really, really shocked. And yeah, so that's how they died. And then we took them out, and then we just had Lily, and we had her for quite a while after that, and she was starting to like kind of start nesting, because remember, she was still producing eggs, and we had leftover eggs from the other chicken, and I couldn't go inside the chicken house for a few months. So I kind of, the only time I would really play with Lucy and stuff like that was when she came out the chicken house, because I just couldn't bring myself to go in there, because like it would just make me sad, and I would cry. Like, they're basically like my little babies, you know. So I would feed her like every morning, like I always did, and she would come out, get her food, and then most of the time, like she would stay inside too. You could tell like she was kind of lonely. Like, I'm telling you, Lily and Lucy would, everywhere they'll just go together. Like, they're inseparable. Like, if they're separate, they'll start, like, it was the cutest thing. Like, they start calling each other, and then until they found it was so cute, like how they'll just always be together. But anyways, like Lily wouldn't come out of the chicken house those first few weeks, and she'll just stay inside with her little eggs, and she'll just be laying on them. And so we thought she was nesting, but I mean, I think she was, but I'm not sure. And so one day she you know, because usually when we have dogs, and our back neighbors, they have dogs, and so the neighbor right behind us has like a big dog, and so before, like, they'll take care of each other and stuff like that. So, and then before, like, I don't know, the dog wouldn't come outside, but I don't know, this one time he was just outside. And so Lily went over the fence, and she went over the fence, and she died. We're looking for her everywhere, and we're like, where is she? I was like blaming my brothers. I was like, what did y'all do? Like, what did y'all do? And then my brother looked over our neighbor's fence, and we just saw her laying there. And so that's how she died. So anyways, fast forward a few months later, when COVID started. So when COVID started, I just had a lot of time to really think about my life, and which way it was really going into, about my future, about my career, about my relationship with God. And so much just changed, and I was just open to so much. And I just realized that the way I was living, I didn't want to live like that anymore. And I had gained so much weight. I had gained a lot of weight, and I don't blame it on the meat, but I'm just saying I had gained a lot of weight. And so I just noticed, like, girl, you don't really eat meat, so what's the point of continuing to eat meat? And I was just, so I'm like, okay, let me become a vegetarian. And then I was thinking to myself, okay, you can't just become a vegetarian just because you don't really eat meat. Like, you need a reason why you're becoming vegetarian. And so, like, I really sat down and thought, like, okay, why am I really becoming a vegetarian? And so here are my reasons why I am a vegetarian today. Because yes, if I haven't answered that, yes, I am a vegetarian. So my number one reason is just, I guess, my moral. Like, I just don't feel right eating meat, because meat comes from an animal that had life. And when I think back to my own chickens that I had, it's just so cruel. Like, and a lot of people told, like, when they died, they're like, oh, cook them and eat them, and I just couldn't. And so, like, just my moral thinking, like, these animals that we're eating, like, they had life too. And when you really go back and look and compare, like, I'm not saying they have more value than us, but they have life too. And it just didn't feel right. Like, I can, like, just thinking back to animals, like, when they kill them, they're crying, like, like, they know they're about to die. And I think it was last year in June, we went to Iowa to visit some family, and we had gone to this farm place where they cut the meat and stuff. And so I was forced, because I really didn't want to go see it, to go see the little chickens and goats and the different animals, how they kill them. And literally, like, to their last breath, they were, like, crying for their life. And the people who killed them just had no hearts. And I was like, I definitely don't want to be like that. I definitely don't. So that's a reason why I became vegetarian. Another reason is because the meat is not really good. Health reasons, it's not really good for our bodies, especially meat that we eat here in America, or meat that you don't raise yourself. So here in America, a lot of the chickens, like, I've seen videos, like, I'm not just talking just to talk and say, oh, in America they do this. Like, you literally look at videos, and a lot of the meat, like, they're so skinny, and, like, they're dying, and just, like, if you look at the videos, like, you'll see how unclean this meat we eat. And a lot of meats are not naturally raised. They don't eat naturally. They get fed different steroids and different medicines, and that's how they're raised, eating those steroids and medicines. And then even when they do cut them up and cut chicken, they still put more, like, medicine inside our meats to make them fatter and things like that. And so just knowing all that stuff could be going in me, and even though I might not see the damage it does to me now, eventually down the line I'll see it. So when my chickens had died, I became the kind of person, like, okay, if I want to eat meat, well, not when my chicken dies, just that last year when I went to Iowa and saw all of that, I was just like, okay, I'd rather eat these kind of meats that I know, okay, these people raised them, eating natural grasses and being raised right, and being raised to the certain point they're ready to be eaten and stuff, instead of these meats that we don't have no idea how they're being raised, what kind of stuff they're putting in their bodies, and then we transfer that sickness to ourselves. And so that's another reason why, just health reasons and being aware of the different things that I put in my body. Because as a child of God, our temple is a temple of God. Our bodies are temples. And so we have to be careful what we put inside of our bodies. And so that's a reason why I also became vegetarian. And then another reason why I became vegetarian is just a kind of like a spiritual thing. That temptation of eating meat. And I feel like I need more practice with temptation. And so it was a good way to practice temptation, because everywhere that I go, a lot of my friends eat meat. A lot of my family, they eat meat. A lot of restaurants, a lot of places, they have majority meat. And so becoming vegetarian, I get to practice resisting that temptation. I get to practice being unique. I get to practice being set apart. I get to practice not being like everyone else. So that's a kind of like my spiritual reason why I became vegetarian. And I have explained my spiritual reason to people and they just don't understand. They think it's related to religion, but it's not. It's just a spiritual moral thing for me. Like, it's really been helping me resist temptations. Like, I work at a fast food place and there's always meat like just smelling everywhere, and like some of my coworkers eat it and different things like that, but it's helped me like resist that. And then I think my final reason is I just my how do you call it, like want or desire, appetite for meat just completely went away. Like, I do not know, it was a mental thing, like a mental thing that I told myself. So all those reasons I listed before, I just kept repeating those things in my mind. And then eventually when I officially decided to become vegetarian, it was not hard at all. Like how it was the first time I became vegetarian, it was really hard. Like every day was hard for me. But since I became a vegetarian this time, it's been very, very easy, and there hasn't been any temptation to eat meat. Like I said, like my appetite, my desire for meat just completely went away. Even chicken, like being able to give up meat again. Like, I thought I was not capable of giving up chicken. I thought I was not capable of giving up meat. But again, that shows the power of God. Like, it really wasn't me, because I don't know, like I told you, that appetite for me was just it was gone, and like it was just gone, and I don't even know how to describe it. It was just gone. And so one tip I want to give you guys before I give you guys the tip, I became a vegetarian officially. Like, okay, months before that I wasn't really eating meat, but it wasn't official yet. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, being a vegetarian for me is not like, it's something way deeper than just religion, or like, if not saying that religion is not deep, but it's something just inside me. And so like, even though months before my official start date I wasn't really eating meat, my official start date is June 1st 2020. Did I say that right? Okay, June 1st 2020. When I say 2020, it just sounds wrong, so I have to say 2020. So June 1st 2020. So now it's August, what date is it? I think it's the 16th. I don't remember. I don't know what date it is, but it's been a month and a half since I've been officially vegetarian, and I'm gonna tell you guys, it's been the best decision of my life. It's helped me spiritually, it's helped me emotionally, it's helped me physically. Like, it's helped me all around. And later on, since I am vegetarian, that means I've had to make a lot of health lifestyle changes. And so I'll take you guys on a journey of just different things that because I became a vegetarian, it affected this and this and this and this. And so guys, I'll take you guys on that journey with me. But one advice that I want to give you guys is that becoming a vegetarian shouldn't, like I told you guys before, shouldn't be for other people. And when you become vegetarian, it is not just a physical thing. And that's where I think a lot of people make mistakes. It is not just a physical thing. Becoming a vegetarian, it's something that's gonna play with you mentally. It's gonna play with you emotionally, and it's something that's gonna play with you spiritually too. And so if you go into becoming a vegetarian thinking, oh, this is just physical, that's not the case, and you're gonna fall back and you're not gonna become vegetarian anymore. Because if it's just a physical thing, it's gonna be hard, number one, and number two, it's gonna be really easy to give it up. Because I know people who were vegetarian like their whole lives and then decided not to be vegetarian, and it's because it was for the wrong purposes and it was the wrong way, and just different things like that, because then you're not able to really see what is the benefit of becoming vegetarian. So anyways, my lovely people, thank you for tuning in on another episode of Try Again, This Time with God. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and may God bless you.